Tidbits from TNT, Monday morning the 2nd of June 2025. Listen to the full version on the official dinarreport.com website and become our supporter on Patreon. TNT. Tishwash. Minister of Finance discusses support for development projects in Iraq with World Bank. Minister of Finance Taif Sami discussed with the World Bank representative to Iraq on Sunday enhancing cooperation to support development projects. The ministry said in a statement received by the Iraqi news agency, INA, Minister of Finance Taif Sami Mohammed received the World Bank representative to Iraq and his accompanying delegation to discuss plans to enhance cooperation to support development projects by leveraging the technical and financial support provided by the bank in implementing strategic projects to stimulate economic growth, especially in the areas of infrastructure and human development. The statement added, the two parties discussed developing the private sector and encouraging investment as the primary driver of sustainable economic growth, in addition to the need to support financial reforms to achieve stability and growth. The statement explained that the bank representative expressed his commitment to continuing to support Iraq in achieving its development goals and enhancing its ability to confront economic and development challenges. Tishwash. Japanese ambassador. We seek to support the investment environment in Iraq and attract international companies. Japanese ambassador to Iraq, Akira Endo, announced on Monday that more than $21 billion has been allocated to support economic cooperation projects in Iraq since 2003. Stressing his country's continued efforts to support the investment environment in Iraq and attract international companies. In a speech during the signing of an agreement between the Iraq Development Fund and the Japan Cooperation Center, attended by an Iraqi news agency, INA, correspondent. The Japanese ambassador to Iraq said, since 2003, the Japanese government has implemented economic cooperation projects in Iraq totaling more than $21 billion. Japan has become the largest donor of aid to Iraq in recent years, primarily through Japanese yen loans for infrastructure development in various fields such as electricity, water, sanitation, and oil. The ambassador emphasized that Japan has consistently provided assistance alongside the Iraqi people to support their efforts in building the country, adding, in order to further develop economic relations between Japan and Iraq, we look forward to Iraq's continued efforts to improve the investment environment, including strengthening the implementation of relevant laws and regulations, and continuing to enhance transparency in business practices, particularly with regard to attracting foreign companies, including Japanese companies. He pointed out that the JCCME has been working for more than a decade to promote trade and investment between Japan and Iraq through activities aimed at enhancing Japanese companies' understanding of Iraq, such as organizing annual Iraqi business seminars, sending delegations to key sectors in Iraq, and organizing training programs in Japan for Iraqi officials. He continued, on the other hand, given the priorities of the Iraq Development Fund, the 6 areas it identified, education, agriculture, housing, digital transformation, manufacturing and food security, and the environment, represent precisely the areas that the Iraqi government has prioritized under the leadership of Prime Minister Mohammed Shia al-Sudani. These are also areas where Japanese expertise can have a sustainable and meaningful impact on Iraq's future. He noted that this signing is a pivotal step that comes at a critical time, as it will contribute to strengthening relations between the private sectors in Japan and Iraq by providing and exchanging information, and supporting, promoting, and coordinating the work of companies. Tishwash. The Parliamentary Investment Committee calls for breaking the legislative stalemate and passing important, accumulating, laws. The Parliamentary Development and Investment Committee called for breaking the legislative deadlock to pass and address dozens of important laws that have accumulated and directly impact citizens' lives. The committee emphasized the importance of fulfilling the government's commitments under the ministerial program and budget-related spending plans. Hussein al-Sabari, deputy chairman of the Parliamentary Development and Investment Committee, said, more than 140 draft laws, including new ones and amendments to existing laws, are still pending in parliamentary committees and require a vote by Parliament. He added, many of these laws have been discussed by the relevant committees and are ready to be included on the agendas of the plenary sessions, noting that These projects relate to vital aspects that impact the lives of citizens and various state sectors. He explained that the most prominent of these laws is the Popular Mobilization Law, in addition to projects related to higher education. The basis for granting certificates and other legislation of a service and administrative nature. He pointed out that the upcoming parliamentary sessions are of particular importance, as they will determine the fate of a large number of pieces of legislation, eagerly awaited by citizens and state institutions alike. He explained that delaying the passage of these laws could negatively impact the work of ministries and disrupt the provision of services. Al-Sabari noted that there is an increasing number of calls for regular and intensive parliamentary sessions to ensure that the legislative deadlock that accompanied previous periods is overcome, and to fulfill the government's commitments under the ministerial program and spending plans linked to the general budget. He explained that Parliament's legislative agenda also includes strategic laws such as the oil and gas law, the civil service law, and the Social Security law, as well as laws related to administrative reform and oversight of government performance. Listen to the full version on the official dinarreport.com website and become our supporter on Patreon. Source: Dinar Recaps.